Starting a business can seem like a daunting task, unless you have a partner like Shopify. They have the tools you need to start and grow your business. From designing a website to marketing to selling and beyond, Shopify can help with everything you need. There's a reason millions of companies like Mattel, Heinz, and Allbirds continue to trust and use them. With Shopify on your side, turn your big business idea into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi!
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
So here I am sitting at the, I forgot the name of the damn place, Union Liberty. I don't know. I was there 2 Fridays in a row. I was there for the Daniel Penny Gala for Thomas Knipp and Steve Racer 2 weeks ago. I hosted that one. And then I was there last Friday. This will be the first Friday in 3 weeks I'm not there. Last Friday for the Metropolitan Club 121st Gala. And I was there to present Corey Lewandowski, our friend Corey, with some award. I forget what it is. But they were honoring a bunch of folks that night. And one of the folks they were honoring, other than Corey Lewandowski, was this amazing congresswoman who's one of my favorite guests on this show. And I have everybody. And that's Claudia Tenney. And I'd still be sitting there waiting for Claudia because she never showed. What happened?
Oh, thank you, Sid. It's very kind of you. Well, I intended to get there, and I ended up spending about 14 hours at Reagan National Airport. I should have taken the train, but we had some other things we needed to get there quicker. So anyway, I ended up getting delayed. I boarded the plane a few times, and then they finally canceled it at 10 p.m., and that was kind of the end of the ability to get to New York. And then we had weather issues, and then it was really I was really excited about getting there. So I apologize to you and everyone. It was just unfortunate. I usually take the train, but they had decided that we needed to get there a little more quickly. We thought the flights would be better, but I said, this is risky. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it, but we'll definitely be in New York City. We come to New York City quite a bit, so I'll be there again, and I really am grateful for the award, and sorry I didn't get to see you in person.
Everybody loved you there. All kidding aside, it was they mentioned you. You got a round of applause. It was very, very nice because we all appreciate the work that you do. And, of course, I'm friends with all the New York Congress folks, from Mike Lawler to former Congressman Anthony D'Esposito, Nicole. They're all my good buddies, and you're all terrific. And all we've been talking about all week is this bill. So I'm also friends with Marjorie Taylor Greene. I know some of your friends, maybe even you, don't get along with her. And she's been having this raging fight with Mike Lawler. He actually called her an anti-Semite on this show 2 days ago. And she's yelling about him with the whole SALT deduction. So when I hear from President Trump a couple of days ago, Claudia, that in the room, the House, it's one big love fest. We're all getting along in terms of passing the big, beautiful bill. I'm not hearing all that. You tell me the truth, because it sounds like there is quite a bit of infighting.
Yeah, look, this is a difficult process, obviously, and we are struggling with trying to get it exactly the way every member wants it. But the truth is, every member isn't going to get it exactly the way they want it. And as you probably know, I serve on the Ways and Means Committee with my colleague Nicole Maliotakis, who, by the way, we served in the state legislature together as well. And we have been working, and Andrew Garbarino, he served, I was there with him briefly before I went to Congress. And, there's some disagreements. But, look, there's a lot of things in this bill that I didn't get either, 100%. But on balance, this is an excellent bill. There's a lot of really good things in it. And this isn't the end all. We are still in the majority for another year. We have another shot at reconciliation. We can go back and make some corrections and fixes to this. And by the way, I love Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's a friend of mine. I get along really well with her. I know that she loves to tangle with other members. I said, well, the one thing about Marjorie is she's a fighter. I don't necessarily like to fight with my other colleagues, especially my New York colleagues. I like to work with them and see if we can come to consensus. Marjorie doesn't know what it's like to be in an extreme minority. She doesn't know what it's like to be 108 to 42, like when I was in the state legislature, when you don't even have a fighting chance to even stop them on a 2/3 majority vote. But I do, talk to Marjorie about that. I think she understands. And I think, Marjorie comes around. She likes to be a team player. She's working with President Trump. She's working with the Speaker. She had her moments with the Speaker, and now she's working with him. She's chairing a committee. So, look, it's okay if we disagree on some things. I would rather have it respectful disagreements. I don't think Marjorie Taylor Greene is an anti-Semite. I think her is earnestly and honestly fighting to try to get the best deal he can, because I think Mike Lawler knows something. When it goes to the Senate, we're probably not going to get as good a deal as we on SALT, the state and local tax deduction, as we're going to get in the House, because Nicole and I fought to get what we got already in the bill. And so they go to the Senate, and there isn't a single person sitting in the Senate that cares about SALT. And so I think Mike's aware of that, and he's trying to get a better deal out of the House so that when it comes back, if it comes back a little bit trimmed out of the Senate, we have a deal that will help everyone in the middle class. And that's what Nicole and I have been fighting for. Nicole Maliataka, she's been a great partner in this whole struggle on this issue. So, look, I get it. I understand. I'm from New York. I hate high taxes, but you got to admit, a lot of this unlimited SALT actually helps the wealthiest in our communities, and we're trying to fight for the middle class. And I will say this, there is data that shows that if these tax cuts do expire and we don't get, some of the great provisions that are already in them that help middle-class taxpayers, everyone will do worse, particularly the middle class, if we allow them to expire. I know Lawler and some of those in the SALT caucus know that. They're just fighting to get the best deal they can. So you really can't fault them for that. We'll see what happens, and what happens on the bill, and if we end up getting the best deal possible, to really kind of make sure that we have a net that brings in those middle-income taxpayers that are struggling, across our communities. So that's my take on it.
According to the Speaker, who I love, and so does President Trump, Mike Johnson, able to raise that SALT deduction cap to $40,000, which is $30,000 more than it is now. I just can't figure out. I've heard things from people that President Trump even yelled at Lawler and said, "Hey, let me tell you something. If you lose your next race, it's not because of SALT. You're going to lose anyway." So I know that he said all the right things to Lawler and D'Esposito and other Long Island folks in the past about SALT, and I think he's all for it, but I'm starting to get the impression that Trump is not as enthusiastic about that as some of these House members. In other words, he doesn't want that killing the bill. Is that fair to say?
I think that's very fair to say, and I think the president made a really good point, and I think his point was, one way or another, they're going to get what they call half a loaf. And even if they get, a really high number, say they get the 40 that the Speaker's deal is right now, Trump is saying the Democrats are still going to hammer you, and they're going to say you didn't get it all, and we are going to get it all. But you know who they're going to get it all for? They're going to get it all for the wealthiest people in our communities, the people that are millionaires and billionaires. We want it limited so that we can get some pay for on that, so that we can help our middle-income taxpayers who are getting a raise in the AMT, which is, the alternative minimum tax, which is very harmful to the middle class. We're getting doubling the standard deduction. We're continuing that. We're getting better deductions for our business community, small business owners that comprise almost all the workers, something like 98% or 99% of the people that go to work in my district in upstate New York go to a small business. They're not going to a big company. And so we want to make sure that we continue the great provisions in the bill that provide for the growth that we need. We're talking about border security, unleashing American energy, something we can't do in New York State. We have abundant, rich natural gas reserves. The Utica and Marcellus Shale are some of the best in the nation. And because of the stupid, idiotic policies of the Democrats, who are hard left, don't like facts, we cannot do responsible, safe gas drilling in the state of New York, which would put us on a path to prosperity. It would give us security. It would be a tremendous boon for our state, but the Democrats say no. Every one of the nuclear power plants, all the reactors in the entire state, they give us baseload power. That they're giving us a lifeline because of these terrible policies of the Democrats are in my district. So we need to help those nuclear power plants update. They're built in the 60s and 70s. This is going to be the power of the future, baseload power. These are all really important things that are part of this bill that we've got to get enacted. So this is really important. I appreciate that Mike Lawler and others in the SALT caucus are fighting to help their constituents, and that's important that we give them a break. And Nicole and I fought really hard in the Ways and Means Committee to give them a very generous Really, 98% of the people in their districts are going to get a tax cut. If we let these expire, their people are not going to get the tax cut. The people that we care about, the middle-income taxpayers, the people that go to work every day, the people that are going to work in the data centers and on AI and our engineers and all those people in middle incomes are not going to get that tax cut that they need in order to drive our economy. So that's really what it's about.